Working smarter, not harder. A comprehensive explanation of David Allen's method. Introduction. Why is working smarter more important than working harder? In today's rapidly changing world, simply working long hours no longer guarantees success. Many people work hard, but they don't reach their goals because they don't work in an organized way. This is where working smarter comes in, which relies on managing time and energy effectively and focusing on real priorities instead of drowning in unnecessary details. David Allen, the famous productivity expert, presented in his book, Getting Things Done, GTD, a practical approach that helps individuals achieve the highest level of productivity without feeling exhausted. His main idea is based on emptying the mind of tasks, organizing them effectively, making immediate decisions about them, and then implementing them based on clear priorities. In this explanation, we will delve into how to apply this system to improve your productivity, reduce stress, and achieve your goals intelligently. Principle 1. Don't rely on your memory, free your mind by writing. The human mind is not designed to store huge amounts of daily information. When you try to remember all your tasks, appointments, and commitments, you consume your mental energy unnecessarily, which leads to anxiety and forgetfulness. Therefore, the first step in working smarter is to empty your brain of all tasks and thoughts by writing them down in a reliable place. How to apply this? 1. Use a notebook or digital application such as Google Keep, Notion, or Evernote to write down every idea or task that comes to your mind. 2. Don't try to evaluate the ideas while writing them down. The goal at this stage is to collect everything in one place. 3. Make this exercise a daily habit so that you don't lose any important idea or task. Practical example. If you think while driving that you need to send an important email, instead of trying to remember it throughout the day, use your phone and record a voice note or add it to your to-do app. This way you ensure that you don't forget them and you free your mind to focus on other things. Principle 2. Make immediate decisions about tasks. Don't postpone thinking. Once you have gathered all your tasks and ideas in one place, don't leave them scattered. Instead, ask yourself, what should I do about each task? How to make decisions. If the task takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. If it takes longer, clearly define the next action. If it is not of immediate importance, put it on the deferred tasks list. A practical example. If you receive an email asking you to send a simple report that can be completed in less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. If it requires research and analysis, define the next action, such as collect the data required for the report. Principle 3. Organize tasks into clear lists, put everything in its proper place. After deciding on the tasks, you need to classify them in a way that makes it easy for you to access and complete them. How to organize tasks effectively. 1. Immediate tasks. These are tasks that need to be done now or during the day. 2. Deferred tasks. Tasks that need to be done later but are not urgent now. 3. Long-term tasks, such as large projects that need planning and gradual implementation. 4. Tasks that can be delegated. Some tasks do not need to be done by yourself, so assign them to someone else. Using applications such as Todoist, Trello, or Asana helps you organize your lists easily and keep everything under control. Principle 4. Focus on the next action. Don't get bogged down in details. Instead of thinking about projects in general, focus on the next small step that you can do now. How does this principle help you? It prevents you from procrastinating because small steps seem easier to implement. It allows you to make continuous progress without feeling overwhelmed. It makes you more organized and efficient in dealing with large projects. Practical example. Instead of saying, I need to write a report, break the task down into smaller steps, such as 1. Find the required data. 2. Write the first draft. 3. Review the final content. Principle 5. Regular review, continuous improvement of your productivity system. For any productivity system to succeed, it must be reviewed regularly to ensure that it is working efficiently. How to implement the review. 1. Daily, take 10-15 minutes each evening to review your to-do list for tomorrow. 2. Weekly, have a weekly evaluation session to review your progress and set new priorities. 3. Monthly, evaluate your overall performance, eliminate unnecessary tasks, and set new goals. Why is this step important? Without regular review, you may find yourself working on unnecessary things or losing control of your priorities. How to apply smart work in your daily life? 1. Don't rely on your memory. Write everything down immediately. 2. Make quick decisions about tasks. Do them, postpone them, or delegate them. 3. Organize your tasks in a clear and accessible way. 4. Focus on the next step instead of thinking about the task as a whole. 5. Review your system regularly to improve it and ensure that you stay on track. Conclusion: how to become more productive with less effort. Working smart depends on good planning, managing time and energy efficiently, and making clear decisions about tasks. Following David Allen's approach, you can achieve great results without feeling overwhelmed or lost in the midst of accumulated tasks. If you want to improve your productivity, try applying these principles today, and you will notice how you will become more organized, less stressed, and more able to achieve your goals with ease. In David Allen's book, Getting Things Done, the author shares many stories and experiences that illustrate how his approach can be applied in everyday life. However, since the book is primarily about applying the principles in practice, it does not include traditional narrative stories as much as it includes real-life examples and real-life experiences from people who apply GTD in their lives. Here are some stories that demonstrate how GTD can help improve productivity and reduce stress. 1. The story of the frantic CEO. Jim, an executive at a large company, was suffering from a backlog of daily tasks. He was under tremendous pressure at work, and crises were constantly appearing. He felt busy but not making any real progress. When Jim read about the Getting Things Done approach, he decided to give it a try. The first step he took was to empty his brain, meaning he started writing down all the thoughts and tasks that were on his mind all the time, including reminders, pending tasks, and ideas for future projects. Then he started prioritizing tasks and applying the GTD next action rule. For example, instead of thinking about improving performance in the company, he set the next action as setting up a meeting with the executive team to review goals. After a month of implementing the system, Jim began to notice that his work stress had decreased significantly. He was able to focus on important tasks and delegate others, and his productivity increased dramatically. 2. The late author story. Ellen was a writer who was aspiring to finish her new book, but she always felt stuck in the clutter. She spent long hours trying to juggle writing with other daily tasks, and the feeling of procrastination always overwhelmed her. When Ellen read about the GTD method, she began applying it to her life. First, she wrote down all the ideas that were on her mind, whether they were related to the book or other daily matters. Then, using the concept of next action, she began identifying the small steps she needed to take to finish the book. For example, instead of thinking, write the entire book, she set the first task as, write the first chapter. Then she broke each chapter down into smaller steps, such as, write the introduction draft, or review chapter 3. After a month of using the system, she had a clear timeline for the book and became more productive. She was able to finish the book on time, and she had better control over her daily life. 3. The distracted engineer story. Robert was an engineer working at a consulting firm who was suffering from mental confusion due to the multitude of the projects. He was busy remembering the different tasks between the multiple projects, and he always felt like he couldn't focus on one thing. After reading about the GTD approach, he started applying the brain dump rule. Instead of trying to remember every detail in his mind, he started writing down every idea, task, or piece of information about the projects he was working on. He then started dividing tasks based on priority and using GTD techniques to determine what to do first. He also started setting aside time each day to review the tasks he needed to complete and update his to-do list regularly. After a month of GTD, Robert felt his mind was clearer. He was able to focus on each project individually, and he had more control over deadlines, which greatly increased his productivity. 4. The Burnout Doctor story. Dr. Mark worked at a large hospital and was under a lot of pressure. He was always feeling overwhelmed by the large number of patients he had to treat, in addition to the daily documentation and medical reviews. Mark decided to apply the GTD approach to his professional and personal life. He started by writing down all the tasks he had to do each day in a clear and organized list. Then he used the next action rule to identify the immediate steps he needed to take for each task. For example, instead of thinking about writing patient reports, he decided to enter new patient data into the system. This small step made the task clearer and easier to accomplish. After implementing the GTD approach, Mark felt a significant reduction in his feeling of burnout. He had enough time to review patient cases in greater depth, and the quality of his work increased significantly. In conclusion, these stories show how GTD can help people in a variety of fields manage tasks effectively. By clearing their minds and identifying the next step for each task, individuals can organize their lives in a way that increases productivity and reduces stress. Ultimately, anyone can apply this system to reduce their workload, achieve work-life balance, and reach their goals more efficiently.